Alright, what's good YouTube? Back with another reaction video here today. This time we'll be reacting to another 100 Thieves video, Do All Pro Gamers Think the Same? And let's just get right into it.
If I ever have a kid, I'm not gonna let them touch a video game until they're at least 14 or 15, so No, I just I would've
You probably started playing younger. Yeah, facts. Facts.
Should at the very least have to verify your ID to play any ranked game mode.
But if you're like a grown-ass man, downloading and paying for cheats, then you should definitely be going to jail.
All right, first topic. Esports athletes are real athletes.
Definitely are. Why are you guys scumming yourselves, bro? No way. Esports athletes are definitely athletes.
I think 95% of esports athletes players aren't physically athletic, so calling them esports athletes kinda isn't real. But at the same time, it's what we do, I think, is just as hard as what pros do in other real sports, or it could be even technically harder. There's less pro Valorant players than there are NFL players, basketball players for each team. I do think we're somewhat can be considered athletes, but a lot of us are not physically, athletic, and that's what an athlete is. That's not me though.
That's not true. Being an athlete is not just physical.
I personally disagree because of kind of the points you mentioned. We're not physically athletic at all. I speak for myself. I got no physical athletic ability. And I do agree that mentally and in other aspects we probably do match up, but I don't think in the traditional sense that we fit the definition of an athlete.
Yeah, traditional athletes aren't real athletes; those are different things.
I mean, I agree.
I definitely think
majority of the pro
players I would know. I'm a former D1 athlete,
but I think there are also you kind of look at League of Legends players. They also go work out, they take care of their bodies, their mind, I think it is a routine that people should do, as a Red Bull gaming athlete myself, I'm considered an athlete, but I'm also I get it, it's video games, so it's kind of neutral, it's whatever way that you want to think, but yeah.
There is a link to violence and video games.
Definitely not.
Real life violence and video games.
Absolutely not.
There is a link.
Facts. Definitely not. Facts.
Slightly disagree, for sure. At the end of the day, it's just a video game, You should just have fun, just I don't know, try your best and see what happens, So I don't think there's any violence in that. Yeah.
Wait, can I say something? Because I think this topic is kind of debated with the normies or whatever, normal people, but it's to do real dangerous acts of crime, you have to be insane to kill someone or do anything like that. I don't think video games propels you as a human to do that anymore.
Facts.
Just because you shoot a gun at other people in a game doesn't mean you want to go kill real humans.
That's massive facts. I've never once been I want to kill people because I play Call of Duty.
I can see a world where people are playing the video games and they are doing violent things in the video games to do it in real life. But for me, when I'm mad at the video game, I'm just more mad at my controller than anything. So I don't know why you need to take the game or the anger outside of your house or outside the game.
Yeah, I'm neutral because I've heard it mentioned in the news or something before, but honestly, I've never looked into it at all or researched it, so I just don't really know at all. Never looked at it, so I can't make a decision.
Valid. That's valid. That's valid.
Is that PR?
That's my number 3. That's my number 3.
That was good. League of Legends is the hardest game to go pro in.
I think I would agree with that.
I don't even play League, and
I think I would agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
I'm saying all your opinions are wrong if you don't get on this red line. Little Timmy is
Fortnite is the hardest mechanical game. Fortnite's the hardest mechanical game in the world. So going pro in League is super hard. It's much harder, yeah. I think the process, but that has to do a lot with the
It's the most strategic game.
It's not, I'm on agree because I think mechanically, I think League is definitely one of the hardest games to be good at, but it's not the hardest. I think Fortnite and Rocket League are definitely mechanically harder. But I think the process of becoming
Rocket
a pro
League is
in
really
League,
hard.
especially a North American
Fortnite,
pro,
I guess.
is virtually impossible. And that's just kind of how the league is set up for League of Legends. And I think that has less to do with the game itself.
I think because of how popular League is, it's really easy to just pick up the game, play with your friends, and basically every pro I know kind of just got good at the game without trying too hard. They just played the game for fun and it got really easy at a certain point and they got to a Apex tier. But when I look at other games, I think FPS and stuff, I've heard people calling that Tetris. is like I think it's much more mechanically skilled to do those games. You have to try extra hard to practice like certain mechanics instead of just playing the game. So for me, League
That's
is
fair. That makes
pretty
sense.
easy.
I played Valorant for 2 years, but I'm still like gold. So I think FPS is more harder.
Yeah, me personally, I think it's kind of in the middle. Yeah, I feel like it kind of depends on like the kind of games that you were playing growing up, because I played a lot of MOBA growing up.
That
so
would make sense. That's
it
kind of
came
what I'm
natural to me,
gathering from
whereas
this. Yeah.
Aiming and shooting.
It just depends
like,
on
I
the type
can't
of
aim for
gamer that
shit,
you
so
are really. Which
I
one
think
is
yeah,
harder
it just kind of depends
between
on the games
FPS
that
and
you
League
played growing up, and I
and
mean
everything
I
else.
agree
That's what I'm
that it's
thinking
really hard
about
to get into the
Fortnite
League
too. Yeah.
scene, especially for NA now, but in terms of the mechanical difficulty, I find obviously shooting games a lot harder. So I think it's just each to their own.
I think
Yeah.
League is
Every
far
person's
more
just different
complex in the
on that
sense you
one.
have to. It's more of a knowledge gap where you have to know just to get into the game, like over 160 characters. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's why I think
yeah,
it's the
100
hardest.
items, you know, passives, all this stuff. So I think League's just a huge knowledge gap, and for people that just aren't good at it, it's hard to be good.
That's why I
There
think
is
it's hardest.
nothing
There's so much to
wrong
know about
with
League.
a game copying another game's mechanics or formula. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree? They should be
I would
more
agree.
original,
I would agree.
or if it's okay.
I have a good example, I think.
I would agree. Not strongly agree, but agree.
I think if you look at a game like Marvel Rivals right now, that is literally a one-to-one copy of Overwatch. It's literally Marvel Rivals is like an amazing game right now, and it's literally just a one-to-one copy of original Overwatch, and everyone in the world right now, or not everyone in the world, but a lot of people are playing it right now. So I think that in itself just shows you like copying a game one-to-one, it could still be an amazing game even if it's not original, as long as the mechanics are good and how they execute it.
So as Boostio said, like some mechanics like Overwatch, the main gameplay, it's like perfect in my opinion, but they like change it to third person and that makes it more enjoyable. But I can agree on like being neutral as well, because it can be stale. And that's the problem with like hero shooters at the moment. They just get stale over time. Nothing changes, nothing new, and that's the problem.
In the past couple of years, I've never really played a different game. And I don't know if that's because everyone's just copying. There's nothing like, I don't know, anything that's like fresh or unique that's came out recently. I think like Balatro, which is just like a card game that I played. Tough to find a game, and I feel like at the moment it's because everyone's like strongly agree. And I think it should be like that, but it's just like nothing's like caught my eye.
There's not a lot of innovation you can do anymore, especially for like competitive games, but I feel
That's
like
what's
every
hard
game
too,
has
yeah.
like its own niche that it tries to like, I guess, appeal to. Like I heard even with like the Riot MMO that they're trying to appeal to like a niche, but obviously MMOs have been out for like forever. You have like PoE 2 that came out, which is like more hardcore, but
That's
it's the
what I
same
agree
type
with
of
too. It's hard to
game, so
innovate these days.
I don't think
'cause
it's
games have
entirely
been
wrong
around
to
for so
copy
long
design
now.
since everything's kind of the same already anyways, but yeah.
It's super hard to make a unique game, yeah.
Children should not play mature-rated games.
Because this comes down to like more of, like to me, if my kid's 11, I really don't care if he plays it. 11, 12.
I'm not sure on that one, to be honest. I'd probably go neutral.
Yeah, it's a rated M.
Well, not that they like should play, but like I think they should be allowed to. I mean, growing up, I was playing like a lot of Gears of War and Call of Duty as a kid, and I think that's part of who I am today. That's why I'm like pretty good at like games in general. Just because I played a lot of like shooters on console, like Gears of War and like Halo and COD. So I think it's good.
I mean, I think growing up, like I was also playing a lot of video games, and at the same time, like it took a toll on my mental in a way. So like, I feel like if I ever have a kid, I'm just like not gonna let them like touch a video game until like they're at least 14 or 15. So, like speaking from experience, I wouldn't let my child like No, I just like I wouldn't let my child. You know.
You're 11?
Yeah, I was, but like.
Wait, then how can you ever take that away from your kids?
No, like okay, it has its benefits for sure, but at the same time, like, I don't think it's worth it. You know, I don't think it's like worth.
He did
all
say he
the mental
dropped out of
stress.
high school.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like.
I would let my kid know playing video games is terrible for your mental.
Yeah.
But it's like there's no, like think about if your parents took away your right to play video games until you were 14, like you wanted to do it, you're a kid. Like wouldn't that suck?
It would suck during that time, but like you shouldn't let them touch it in the first place, you know. And then I feel like it'd
So
be
you're
fine.
saying you wish your parents did that with you?
Well, honestly, not anymore, just because of like how everything's been going. But like, if it didn't go good at the same time, it's like a big risk.
No, actually, no.
Yeah,
I mean, your opinion's fair. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just like, I don't know. I'd just rather them
He
doing
did
like
say
a
he dropped
sport,
out of
like
high
a
school.
physical thing, rather than like a, like they're just looking at the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think video games would, I don't know, affect you too much, because like I played like mature video games when I was like younger. Like at like a certain age, my parents let me play like my dad let me play Grand Theft Auto because I was just putting motorcycles in my San Andreas garage. Like, that's all I did in GTA.
I wasn't allowed to play GTA
But
growing up.
I think if they like raise you right, I don't think it would mess with your mental too much. But who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe I'm crazy. Who knows?
Every game should have an easy difficulty.
No.
Every
I
game should have an
disagree with
easy
that.
difficulty. You agree or disagree? Yeah.
Multiplayer games should not all have
I mean,
an
I
easy
don't see what's the
difficulty.
problem. Some people just want a game to have fun. That's all.
I mean, I
Multiplayer
also
games,
agree.
though.
I think every game already does kind of an easy mode. Even online games, you have COD vs AI, you have the fucking tutorial. Every game already has an inbuilt easy
Tutorial's
mode.
not
It's up
the
to you.
same.
whether
Tutorial's
or
a
not to play
tutorial,
it.
though.
Easy mode is just too boring, so I don't think it's yeah, I don't think it's useful.
Easy mode just ruined the purpose of the game. I think the story should be hidden behind like actually like playing game that like is hard. And also I just grew up like one of my favorite games of all time is just a permadeath game, Realm of the Mad God, and it was just legit. You just if you die, your entire character gets wiped, and it was just really fun. And I think it just builds a lot more stress and anxiety, and I don't know, it makes you really grow attached to the game when there's something to actually be held accountable to
Facts.
versus
That's what I
just
agree with
playing
too.
and
Yeah.
making it easy. I think some games are
Facts.
just meant to be hard, and that's how they should be. And making an easy mode, just, it defeats the purpose.
Games should
Good
be
answer.
somewhat challenging. I'm gonna be honest. Like if I play a game on easy mode, I'm most likely not gonna replay the game on like a higher difficulty. You know, I'm gonna try to play it on the normal or the hard mode, depending. And I think like the challenge, the stress, like you said, is kind of what makes the game fun. When a game is just, like you're just walking around and everything just does it for you.
Yeah,
you're not
actually having the
playing
challenge.
game. You're kind of just like, it's an interactive like movie, I guess. You know what I mean? And that's not really a game for me.
Using
Good answer.
cheats or hacks in games should be a prosecutable crime.
It definitely should
Strongly
be.
agree. Where's
You
that?
agree?
I'm
Yeah,
not getting
that
death
definitely
penalty.
should be a prosecutable crime.
Like
Facts.
you would go to jail or
Oh yeah, straight to prison. Straight to prison.
Like they should be punished.
I'll punish them myself. I'll punish them myself.
No, definitely cheated in CS when you were 12.
Damn right, Dan. Fuck the cheaters, bro.
I'm on the strongly agree side for the hacking issue. Probably a little bit of bias because I play Call of Duty and my rank play
Probably.
is plagued with hackers. But I think you should, at the very least, have to verify your ID to play any ranked game mode in any game. And if you get caught hacking, you are not allowed to play ranked in any game mode ever again. Cheating in at least tournaments, which happens in like Fortnite and other games that hold online tournaments, literally steals thousands and tens of thousands
Very
of
true
dollars
as well.
from people.
So I think like video games is literally built for fun, and hackers literally just insta ruin the fun for like, let's say Valorant. That's 9 people that are not having fun when there's a hacker on any team, because it's an auto win or you just auto lose. Yeah, and like battle royales, one person can kill 60 people or 90 people, and then 60 to 90 people don't have fun either. So it's like
True.
literally the worst thing you can do in video games.
I'm in the neutral mainly because like I agree with I think Ghosty said it, like if you cheat in a tournament, like yeah, you're legit like stealing money from other people. But if you like cheat in like ranked game competitive, like obviously that's bad. No one likes that. I don't know if you should be punished like jail time or like fined or anything like that.
Everyone thinks it's bad. I'm just curious why the strongly agree people think normal, everyday people should go to jail for it, because basically kids play games all the time and they're dumb. Like they're young kids, they don't know what they're doing. I almost guarantee the vast majority of the population has cheated in games before. So I think the worst punishment should be up to the developer. They get banned from the game or whatever. They lose their account. But going to jail is pretty insane.
The issue
Okay,
is.
then I think
yeah.
if you're like a
Okay.
kid, then that's a little different. It's like, yeah, if you're 12 fucking cheating in CS, then it doesn't matter. It's like, you should get banned, but you shouldn't like go to jail. But if you're like a grown ass man, like
Yeah.
downloading and paying for cheats, then you should definitely be going to jail.
Yeah, it ruins your experience, but I'll just say like in other sports, there's also cases of cheating. And I think, for example, contact sport like MMA or UFC, there are a lot of cheaters who take
Yes, that's
steroids
true.
and
That's
they
valid.
actually cause physical harm and they don't go to jail. But I do think it's pretty fucked up too.
That's a
like,
valid argument.
and if they're not going to jail, I don't think you should go to jail for aimbotting.
Yeah,
That's a
that
valid
makes sense.
argument.
For online
Yeah,
games,
that's valid.
like your IP usually doesn't get banned, so they can make like multiple accounts. But if you get banned in real life sports, you are permanently done. Like, you will be perma-banned if you do steroids in baseball and MMA. So they will be perma-banned from the sport, but in games, you can just make another account and then insta-cheat again. And just do it over and over again.
Fucking hell, mate. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't really have like a new reason. Pretty much agree. Majority of the people that play video games are kids, and they're super impressionable. And I feel like cheating is a pretty like attractive option for people that don't want to put in the hard work to be as good as like their favorite streamer or like video game player. Kids are pretty like impulsive, so like they might make a bad decision.
Most streamers get boosted in ranked and aren't really that good.
All right, before we go to this one, yeah, I want to weigh in on that. So the reason I said I strongly agree with that is because if you take a system like Call of Duty, like people are looking at like the top 250 leaderboard and they're being like, oh, those are the best players in the world. So you can get those accolades and potentially get those connections and like those people to have those opportunities, and you could be potentially taking them away from people that actually are better than you, more talented than you, and deserve them more, just because you simply cheated to get yourself into top 250. So that's what I think really does it, is just a system like Call of Duty and having a leaderboard like that. In a game like that, I think it should be a prosecutable offense for sure, because there are definitely hackers that hack their way to the top 250.
Nate Shot, right?
Nate Shot's definitely boosted. Like, Nate Shot gets boosted a little bit. Nate Shot's boosted for sure.
I would say like the big streamers, a lot of them get carried by like their pro friend. But see, like someone like Timmy, he's big, but like he can play solo, and you can tell that he's like super good at Valorant, Apex. But for a lot of the other big streamers, there's some garbage streamers.
The rank that they usually get stuck
Yeah,
at, I do
this
think
too.
it is a little bit higher than where they should be. Like I see it all the time. I mean, I do it with friends, you know, like it's just kind of how it is. Every rank is a little bit different. And, you know, I think people have to grind through each rank and get past like bad teammates or, you know, how like a certain type of player plays, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure
No,
in,
you're 100% correct.
in Valorant,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm a Radiant player and I go play against a pro team. Yeah, it's chalked. It's over, right? They're just playing a different game, you know what I mean? Being a different type of player can actually be a benefit inside that elo. So it's really hard to say.
I feel like most streamers, like some of them that actually like play the game, they'll end up just like naturally, you know, gravitating to their rank. I don't think any streamer really just does solo queue of like Valorant. Let's just say solo queue. They don't look for a duo. They don't try to trio or anything to just solo queue. You'll never get like the actual authentic experience. You're never gonna have the same skill level person playing ranked, and so one of them will be boosted. One of them just has to be.
Like by a little bit, like you're saying like a
just
tier.
the nature, like let's say I'm a diamond player, Kel's a plat player in the league, whatever the fuck, and it just so happens like I will just boost him up, like, or yeah, they'll just
But I
happen.
do agree with like the cap limit. They'll reach a cap eventually, and then they're just like boosted by one tier in that cap, and then
Yeah.
they'll sit there for a long time.
You get to a point at a certain rank where you're just going to be capped out and you're not going to be able to get boosted anymore. So I feel like once you get to that rank, you can be quite a detriment to your team, and someone's not going to be able to pull you up anymore. And that's why I strongly disagree.
Well, personally, I think in League of Legends, you can't duo past Master, I think. So, I mean, if you get boosted to Master, that's still like a low elo. So.
I just say streamers are probably the most transparent out of like social media people, because they're always live, they're always showing their progress. So I say if you look at YouTube or something, definitely there's probably a bunch of people getting boosted. I'm sure there are like small amount of streamers getting boosted, but vast majority are where they're at, and if they weren't, they'd receive like a bunch of backlash really easily, because it's too transparent to see who's getting boosted and who's not.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Good answer.
Appreciate it.
A few moments later.
Alright, man, yeah, I thought that was a really good video. I really enjoyed it. I think they asked some great questions about gaming controversies, and yeah, it was really cool to see their answers. And I thought the back and forth between disagreeing, neutral, strongly disagreeing was really cool to see that, and all the different opinions that they had on these topics as well. So yeah, all in all, great video, W content, 100T to the moon.